To my fellow Kenyans, those in diaspora and those in Kenya itself, it's a mother country. It is a father country, a country that each of us feels proud to be born in, but otherwise, at times regrets to live in, not because we hate our country, but because of corruption that we see amongst our leaders. That the moment most of our leaders enter into politics, it's like they go to harvest money. And this money is the taxes that are truly and really collected from the simple farmers, simple borders, simple hawkers, simple restaurant keepers, simple people who work in farms day after day. And it is so painful to see that this money, which is expected to develop Kenya in infrastructure, to develop Kenya education, that this money is spent on filling up the belly of Kenyan leaders who are merciless. I bear in mind that if we have faithful leaders in Kenya, it is only a few. And many times, even those a few are not ready to address the situation and the darkness, the darkest areas that they see happening in Kenya. They keep silent. Worse, to the church leaders, and especially at this time that KEMSA has scammed 43 billion, or whoever may have it, that none of you have stood up to speak against this corruption. I think it is a time that we need to rethink. And I question myself, is it that COVID have brought fear into the people of faith, fear into the leaders whom we expect that stands at the forefront of us? You see the medical staff demonstrating, you take no action, you raise no voice. You see them demonstrating, you see them receiving tear gas from merciless police, and there is no action that is being taken. And I question, what is the president of Kenya? Mr. President, with great respect, I want you to hear this. When the people of Kenya voted for you in the year 2017, we had greater hopes. And I'm not saying that you have done nothing. I know little has been done because a few things are visible. But I think if you focused to your leadership fully, there is so much that would have been accomplished by the time you leave that chair. But I think there is something somehow you took for granted. Maybe none of us is courageous to address you, but I am addressing this to you and to your fellow executive, to the fellow Senate that we have, and to the entire parliament, parliamentarian leaders of Kenya. I think each of us can open our eyes and see that something wrong is happening in our country, Kenya. That something wrong is happening and nobody takes responsibility to address this. It is not very much that we are a coward, even though I sense cowardness, because we have so many countries, when injustice is denied, they demonstrate, and by the following day, a few issues are rendered to the residents and the citizens of that particular country. I look at the roads at the backyard of Kenyatta himself. The roads are worse than before. I was watching at the TV, looking at those roads in Nyandarua, and you wonder, do those places truly and really have a member of parliament? Do they have the MCAs? Is there money that is given? And if the money is given, where is the money taken to? I look at the schools in Narok. I look at the schools in Turkana, in those places. Can you imagine at this age that students, that pupils sit under a tree? This is unbelievable. It is unbelievable for Kenya. I think since 1963, we can be better than we are. I think that is not a better route that we have taken. Yes, I know tribalism is at a high rate, part of it, but I think, Mr. President and your consultants, something needs to be done in Kenya. I see parliamentarians, I see them committing all sorts of evil. I see them taken to court, and tomorrow they're out. It was just recent when I saw Bob Owino, a fellow young man, young Kenyan, who could be a model for so many Kenyans, just shot. A very young, vibrant artist, a DJ. Unfortunately, I don't know, and I'm not sure, unless a miracle happen, that man will rise up. I hear them, they are not even at a position to say sorry to the Kenyans. And what is this happening, Mr. President? And to other leaders in Kenya? I think these are matters that nobody need to be silent. I address this fearlessly because it is not good. It is not good. And cases like those that are even visible takes years and years to be delivered, even by the Supreme Court of Kenya. Why is this happening? I think these are serious matters. I bear in mind that every citizen of Kenya can testify and can witness to this, that this is evil, and a great evil happening in our motherland, and specifically in Kenya. I do think that Kenya and Africa was not meant for this. I hear and I witness, I saw a handshake. In the midst of handshake, I don't know what was being promised. I see meetings after meetings with the COVID-19. And I can tell to my fellow Kenyans, for those who are wise, we might think and be deceived that in Kenya there is total peace. But I can tell you, this is a fake peace. And I will give you the reason why I say it is a fake peace. I'm going to give an analogy. Have you ever burnt some charcoal, some coal on a stove or a jiko, and then the fire burns, the flames and so forth, and the fire finishes. And after the fire goes down, what remains are pure ashes that remains. And after these pure ashes remain, you would come and put your finger into the ash, thinking that you're not going to burn. You can burn badly and start skipping and jumping because of the pain that is hidden in that fire. My fellow Kenyans, that is the peace that we have in Kenya currently. Listening to the leaders in the midst of COVID-19, having gatherings. I hear the reggae is back. What kind of reggae is this? Reggae to kill you Kenyans. And you're responding to this reggae? Hmm. We have received a lot of promises, years after years. It is not the BBI that is going to rescue Kenya. It is a condemnation of the evil that is happening. I want to see, I want to hear when those leaders stand to say so and so is supposed to be in prison because of this and that. But I'm tired of hearing BBI. And I can say that is not the promise. It is not the hope for Kenyans. The wise can understand this. The wise will see. And I prophesy at this moment, at this time, your eyes, our eyes as fellow Kenyans, can see who is performing and who has not performed. The handshake, which was meant to bring peace, indeed, it brought a lot of division. Most of you, most of us, fellow Kenyans, we will not mention this, but I'm going to address it. And I'm going to mention it, and I'm going to mention it bravely, because this is the reality. When you, Mr. President, was doing all your campaigns, going throughout the entire country with Mr. and Dr. Ann Koruto, you promised people with a full list of manifestations. How we call it again? Not manifestation. Manifesto. Sorry. You promised people many things, and in it there were 4 agendas. And immediately you entered into the leadership when you were about to do these agendas. The power of Satan came in form of an angel, indirectly to bring peace. And in form of that handshake, the 4 agendas, I doubt if any of them, if there is none, any of them have been fulfilled. Fortunately, I have been seeing Dr. Ruto during the COVID-19, when all of you as leaders in Kenya were inside, hiding so that you don't catch coronavirus, which came not to choose the poor and the rich, where if it was inevitable, most of you would have flown away from the country. Most of you would have gone to India. And unfortunately, you did not get a chance to do that because COVID-19 chooses nobody. I see Mr. President, Vice President, I see him inviting a number of people to his household, to his home, and motivating them, young people from different places, different areas of Nairobi, giving them some thanks and so forth. And I hear some people calling him a thief. And I'm not sure why he's not reported. or why he's not into prison or taken to court if he's truly active. But somehow, I think he has been performing. He has been performing. I don't care much because if it was stolen things, you guys would have addressed it. But even if it was stolen from the people and it came back to the people, I don't know how you would say about that. But I would prefer someone who shares with the people of the lowest backgrounds than those who sit at the table of the rich and share with the rich from the money they have inherited from decades, money you have inherited from your forefathers, from your fathers, because you found your father's life stable. You didn't struggle. You have no idea what is struggle. You have no idea what a child who have no shoe goes to school and goes to sit under a tree. And that is why in Kenya you have made no development. That is why we have still schools under the trees. That's why we have so many pregnancies from teenagers. It is painful. And I didn't hear a proper address from State House addressing these teenage mothers. All I see is politics after politics and politicking everything. Life in Kenya have become like a joke. Nobody takes the lives of the poor seriously. I address this seriously because it has become a joke in Kenya. To watch at TV, the people of West Pokot were vacated because of floods after floods. The roads over those sides, those places are unlivable. You wonder how people survive, and we are waiting to go there very soon to look for votes. It is sad. I see others trying to create division, trying to see that, other counties would get a little money than other counties, and they see this as a threat. I see them just concerned about themselves. My question, even to the people and leaders of Wajir and other places that consider themselves as the lowest of places, my question would be, if you have not been able to utilize the little money that you have been getting that you would consider little, how much will you be able to utilize the huge amount of money that you're expecting to get? How responsible have you been into your areas? How many schools have you set up that we can see that when the next leaders come in the next term, perhaps they would just finish it up or roof it up? How many health clinics, how many health centers have you started? These are the questions. How many toilets have you dug for the people? Or they're still using plastic bags, cardboard bag, toilet, mobile toilet? When you're seated at your table, dining and eating presumptuous meal, celebrating your life with your family, showing off on Tuko how smart you are with your little family, showing how smart you can swim, how smart you can be in the gym. Whereas those people do not understand when it is morning or evening. And I seriously attack the COVID-19 leadership and leaders who have been addressing this. It is so sad because at the beginning we did sense that there was corruption. And that is why the people of Kenya currently won't take you seriously, won't take the COVID-19 seriously. That's why the people are scattered. I know the rain where I am, it's chasing me out, but I will still address what I want to address. Because this needs to reach out to your ears. And I expect that those who have ears to hear and those who have eyes to see that Kenya at the moment it's not stable because of you greedy leaders. This matter must be addressed seriously. And I don't mind that the entire world hear this because it is important that we learn not to gravitate into wickedness, but stand up for people. When the people of Kenya had an idea that something was going wrong with the money for the COVID, they kept silent, a few spoke, and it is so sad to hear now that 43 billions, do you know what it means by 43 billions? Whereas some of us, recently I saw a lady in Tuko who have a family of about 5 kids, and she goes to the market. Yani athiaga thoko kunura miji na miji ici arihagwo kuringana na gacuku karia ariihuria, and it can take the entire day tondu miji imwe ona citire na kindu thiini to full up that kasuku. And you know how much she gets in a day? 100 shillings. Whereas those guys are here thieving the money for the COVID-19, 43 billions. It is not over. The rain is taking me away from where I am. But this matter needs to be addressed, and I'm going to address it. I'm not done. I'm coming back again, and I will address the remaining issues if nothing continues to happen in Kenya. People keep silent, and you think all is well, but it is not well. So, this money of COVID-19 that I was touching, it was so sad to see the people of Kariobangi, South, being demolished. Their houses were demolished, and people kept silent. I saw the people of Roy, I saw their houses being demolished, and I saw the pastor, one of the pastors, shedding tears and trying to address this. And I don't think much happened. And this was in the midst of COVID-19. And the following day, I hear the Ministry of Health and the Minister of Health standing up on that arbor and trying to say that the numbers of COVID-19 victims have increased. And I ask this myself, what is this foolishness? This is foolishness. How can you stand up to announce that the COVID-19 cases are increasing, the deaths are increasing, when you yourself knows very well the persons that you're supposed to address? This is a time to address the government who is causing this to increase. My dear friends, I stop here for now, but I'm coming back again for this news to spread to the people who want the truth and who stands for justice. Remember to subscribe, my friend. Remember to click the bell that you see there. So let us build Kenya. We love Kenya, and it is our mother country, and we love it, and we shall defend it from every evil.